Well, it's July 23rd, 2023, and we've had some much needed rain here over the last few days. And today, wind is pretty calm, so we thought we'd try some shooting at the 50-yard mark today. And we'll do that today with our replica of a Uberti Walker, this one done by Uberti, and around 1998 this one was done. It has a 1 in 30 twist. Newer models have a close to a 1 in 16 twist, but this is the one they're making earlier and has the 1 in 30 twist. We'll be shooting 50 yards, but we're going to use an official 25-yard timed and rapid fire pistol target. Point of aim will be down here at 50 yards. We're going to use the same charge of powder that we've been using at 21 yards so we can get a comparison, and that was around 37 grains of the black MZ. Substitute black powder. We may switch a little later on to the GoX, either the 2F or 3F or else both. Be shooting a Lee cast round ball in a 4.51, and because that's a tad undersized, well, we use lube on the end of our chambers here anyway, but we want to make sure that if we're shooting a round ball, it doesn't have a large amount of ring when it's forced down into the chambers, that you want to use some kind of a thing like the lube or wads to protect against the chain fire. So we'll be shooting that, and again we're shooting at 50 yards at the 25-yard time and rapid pistol target. So before we load the gun up, I want to mention that I added onto the front sight. I had to add some distance up here, almost the same height as the original sight was. Added that much more to get this gun to shoot lower at that 21-yard mark. So it's very possible that at 50 yards then we'll be shooting too low with this, but then we've got a fairly mild charge when we're shooting 37 grains of the black MZ, and we can bump that up if we need to, which we probably will, to get this gun to shoot higher. So I want to load it up and see what it'll do with this 37 grains of black MZ. Alright, we're going to check the target out. Well, that first group was probably 8 to 10 inches low and just a tad to the right. Might have been able to bring that up some if we switched to a heavier bullet like a conical, possibly a Johnson & Dow. Instead I chose to increase the black MZ by about 6/10 of a grain. So I think I'm up to 3.4 right now. And with the followed chambers, I'll be shooting a little faster anyway, so I expect this to be a little higher, but probably not in the black yet. I think that's 6. Okay, we'll check our target. A closer look at our target here. I say we're about, our point of aim, center here, probably 8 inches low. Increasing the powder charge with our black MZ by 6/10 did not do much. Here's our second string, shot here, and shot here. We got one shot down here, one over to the right here, and then I think a flyer way over here. So that was our second group. First string, we had one here, then again here, 2 down here, that's 4, 5 here, and then 6 here. So, all in all, not a bad sized group here. I should measure it, probably got about I'm guessing about a 4 inch group across here, somewhere in that area. But increasing the powder charge did not really help any, even though the chambers are fouled up here, because what happens is we get a little more recoil, which would tip the barrel up a little bit, but we're also getting the ball out faster, so before it reaches its higher point, the ball is already out the barrel, so we don't really get a lot of change that way as far as our height goes here at 50 yards. Out at 100 yards, probably see quite a bit of difference because these shots here are traveling faster, so they're going to drop not as much as the first one. So there would be probably quite a difference in spread here there at 100 yards, but not so much at 50. Now, I'm not going to switch to the GoX. I thought I might, but turns out that I might get a little higher here, but it wouldn't be significant. And I'm certainly not going to take more off the front sight, which I could do, but I don't shoot at 100 yards or 50 yards. I shoot most of my stuff at 20, 25 yards. So I'm going to leave this thing because that's where it shoots at. Pretty much point of aim. It'll blow the section right here out at that 21 yard mark. So we'll leave the sight right now the way that is. But what you do want to do is switch to a heavier slug here. So we're going to go with some of the Johnson & Dowells that we've got cast up here, and I think that's around a 220. I forget the exact weight of it, but that should bring us up here, and we'll also get some idea of how the grouping goes with this bullet. So let's load up 6 of those and see what those do. We're loaded up with about 37 grains of the Black MZ, this time a Johnson & Dowell. Our round ball would weigh around, I think, 140, somewhere around 140 grains. These are probably around 70, 80 grains more for weight. I would expect them to shoot a little higher, but we'll see how they go. Well, definitely more recoil. There's 6. See what we've got. Well, here's the results we got shooting the Johnson & Dowell, that heavier bullet. Well, I thought would shoot quite a bit higher, but except for the shot up in here, it's not doing much different than the rest of our round balls we're shooting. So we had one down here, strung one over to the right here, third one, and then there's one that's right in here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's where our Johnson shot. A little wider group because if I look at this, probably about 7, 8 inches. If you look at the top one up in here, yeah, 8 all the way down to the one that just caught the paper here. Our first group with the round ball, we shot 6 shots, 3.5 inch. So that was pretty decent. We had 3 of them down here, just kind of an accident thing. But basically, not a bad group at all. I feel for the sights, my eyes and things at 50 yards. So that's doing okay. Problem, of course, would be wanting to get that group up in this area someplace, shooting above point of aim. To do that, I have to take some off the front sight. Not planning to do that. Tried to increase the powder charge, which we did, and didn't get any difference as far as the height goes. And even when we went to the heavier Johnson & Dowell bullet, we're still not able to bring that up. So probably the original sight on this gun, I might be shooting a little bit high at that distance, but probably not that much actually. But I put this higher sight on the gun so I could shoot better at 20, 25 yards.